Oh, good Sunday morning, folks. How is everybody doing out there? How was your week? Did you make it? Are you here? Yeah, good deal. A little bit of a quick, sort of non-relevant update. Just that changed my setup a little bit, so angle's obviously a little bit different. Not the end of the world because what- speaking of end of the world, I'm sure there's no way even people under a rock are now wondering who Sam Altman is, right? Because of this news that's just rocking the entire country. Hilarious to me, to be honest with you. If you think back on it, if you've been paying attention to this stuff, you think back on it, people weren't really paying attention to this like I don't know, 8 months ago. When I say people, I mean like mainstream media. Like you go back to uh February, March, and you look up stories from like MSNBC, from wherever, right? And you'll see that it was pretty much like no one was really covering anything, right? No one was really paying attention. Nobody was really even talking about GPT or prompting or any of this stuff. There was like some very, it was mainly deepfake, almost completely talking about deepfake. Then finally things exploded with like ChatGPT and what is ChatGPT and the fact that it was mainly geared towards like what was happening in schools and the fact that people were using it to cheat in schools. Um, and then you move over to um, oh yeah, by the way, I don't know. I think it's gonna be the last. Actually, yeah, this is gonna be the last one. Just to let you guys know, this is gonna be the last LinkedIn uh, episode, or where I'm like live on LinkedIn at the same time, I suppose. Um, which I don't think I am. So that's perfect. Okay, so yeah, so um, this is the first like all YouTube episode, I suppose you could say. I just wanted to keep it in one channel, basically. It's a lot. I think it's a lot easier for people to follow, as opposed to people having to go to multiple channels to try to keep up with what's going on. So um, that's pretty much it, really. It's as much as an update as that's going to be. Let's see. So yeah, so Altman, impossible to not have heard that he got removed from OpenAI. I don't care what anybody else is saying right now. You guys know that I follow this stuff like there's no tomorrow. Um, if I had a term that I could apply to how how much I follow AI news, that term, that phrase would have to be that basically I have my head right up AI News' ass, right? Like if you could put just all of the news of AI as one person, right? That's how into it I am. So and that doesn't mean again like that. Excuse me, breakfast. Um, that doesn't mean that I'm trying to get into the technical aspects of it as well. What it really means more than anything is oh shoot, you know what? Nope, never mind. What it really means more than anything is just that I pay attention to like where the stories are at and like what's happening related to AI within the news, like on a broad scale. So I'm paying attention to it within medical. I'm paying attention to it in corporate. I'm paying attention to it in movies. I'm paying attention to it in uh, oil rigging and offshore drilling. I'm paying attention to it in uh, areas related to disabilities and things of that nature. Paying attention to it in the mental health sector. Wherever and whatever it is doing, I want to know about it. Right. That's basically the tude that I have about it. So that being said, trust me when I say that the board removed this man. from his position. They did not let him go. And, you know, it wasn't some like, I don't know, it wasn't an instance where, uh, oh, you know, we, like what they said basically, or what they legitimately said was that they removed him, they were letting him go because he was not being forthcoming with information, not being as forthcoming with information as he should have been. Okay. Um, if you work in corporate, you understand that translates to you lied to us. And then if you want to know what it was he was lying about, you really like you just have to pay attention. You have to pay attention to what's been going on out there and what people have been saying and what these people's what it is that they say. Like what is what is coming out of their mouths. Like the fact that back in February they interviewed Altman, he said we're not even thinking about 5 yet. Not even thinking about it. Interviewed in July, I think June. Uh, we aren't thinking about it, but we are looking at timeline, but we're not even thinking about release or anything like that. And then fast forward to a week ago, and all of a sudden it's, oh yeah, well I mean we've been training it. My guy. Earlier this year, you said you weren't even thinking about it, and now you've already been training it. So I have to say, like, if the board is that clueless, right? If they're so far removed from things, and he is being like that, um, you know, that he's being sort of, you know, I don't know if he's being that brash and just telling everybody as if it was the same as telling the board, like I get the feeling that that might be the case, that it might be the case where because I it's hard to describe exactly like why I classify these people the way I do, but it just helps. I like to say these people play by a different set of rules. When I say these people, I mean like the top players in the AI game, right? Not just the top players in the AI game, but people like Bill Gates. I can't. I'd like to throw Elon into that mix, but he's the frat boy of nerds, basically. Um, these guys they play by a different set of rules, right? You step back and you think about it. Altman makes nothing from OpenAI. Nothing. He financially gains nothing from advancing this technology. You know, if you've watched enough movies and read enough books, you know that one of the most dangerous types of people in the world is someone who does something for nothing. Right? It's dangerous to one particular type of a person, and that's a person who likes to manipulate and likes to hold power. And in order to hold power, you have to have all the information. So if the person who is supposed to be reporting to you and working for you is essentially holding all the power because they know everything that's going on, and they are just telling everybody else what's happening inside the walls of OpenAI, all of a sudden you no longer have power as the board. You start to think to yourself, well, what's the point in us being here if he's just going to tell everybody else what's going on, you know, before he even tells us? Could be the case. That's the only logical thing I can think of, right? That justifies their response. Okay, so what I actually think happened is that, and again, if you've been paying attention to what Altman's been saying and what's been coming out of this guy's mouth, not only what he's been saying, but also, oh my gosh, names are going to escape me today, and it's going to be the worst. So just bear with me. Let's see. Gosh, I can't remember the guy's name. Anyway, I'm just gonna. It doesn't matter. But like a lot of the people that work around Altman and work with him, they kind of they say a little bit of the same thing. They all kind of have the same phrase that they like to throw around, which is that they are constantly working towards safe AGI. Okay, so that should tell you something. Why? Because at the beginning of this year, no one was talking about AGI. The only discussion of AGI that was being had earlier this year was that we were so far away from it that this isn't even a close representation to what AGI is, and that we shouldn't even be talking about this in that realm, and that it's not even close, and this, that, and the other thing. And here we are a year later. I remember telling my wife at the beginning of the year, telling her that by the end of this year, which we're almost there, by the end of the year, things are going to be completely different. And, you know, it depends on how you look at it when you say things are going to be completely different. Obviously, the entire world isn't completely different, right? That takes time. It takes a little bit of time to change. Not as much as it used to. I know for sure that by 2030, Earth will look very, very different. The way people dress, the way people talk, the way people shop, the way people have like entertain, all of that kind of stuff. It's going to be very, very different. And I'm sure you're shaking your head and you're saying, no way, it's not happening. Well, if you're shaking your head saying, no way, it's not happening, then you're the same person who earlier this year was saying that GPT wasn't going to be that big of an impact. You're right on board with with all the investors who say that AI is just some sort of shadow game, and so it's not really all it's cracked up to be, right? So things have changed drastically, very, very much so. And again, no one was really talking about AGI back then because it seemed like it was going to be somewhat of an impossibility. But when I was talking about it with my wife, when I was talking about it with other friends, and just looking at it logically and looking at the timeline, it's like, well, we had 3 pretty quickly. 3.5 followed very quickly after that, and 4 followed. Like I wouldn't. It's weird to me that it seemed like people weren't paying attention to the difference between, like, because 3.5 was just like a performance upgrade over 3. It wasn't like anything. There wasn't like a huge amount of like intellectual increase there. I think they actually had to peel back the consciousness level of it in order to increase the speed. I forget what I actually liked when those levels were up there. I don't know why they took them away, and I wish that they would at least like have a sub menu or something like that where you can look at that and see those stats again. Anyhow, the time difference from 3 to 4 was not that great. It was not a long amount of time, right? And 4 is still stumping the hell out of people by way of, we don't know exactly how it's figuring out the things that it can figure out. So before we've even figured out 4 and how this model even does what it does, the fact that it's multimodal, so you can use it to do any number of things, and I'm going to show you an example of that today. Just show you quite a few examples of it. We don't fully understand it, and without having fully understood it, we're already moving on to the next thing. Why? Because pay attention to what these guys say. They only care about inventing safe AGI. They don't care about what you're using now. They don't even care about the next fast version of what you're using now. They want the version that they can like sit down and talk to and have a conversation with fully fluidly as if they were talking to any other human, except they want it to be smarter. So like when you think about mindsets and you think about, why the board would have let him go like that, it makes full sense to me that either the case was that he was just telling everybody what was going on as if he was talking to the board, and they didn't like that there was, because they claim there was not enough transparency and not enough disclosure. That's the same thing as, hey, you're telling everybody before you tell us. right? Because inside the walls of any organization, that's again, information is power. It makes the organization, it makes the organization more powerful if they can position themselves knowing what's going on, right? But if they don't know what's going on and it's constantly thrown on them at the last minute, then they can't pivot as well. They can't position as well because all of a sudden there's this guy that's just shouting from the rooftops everything that's happening behind the scenes, right? So it was either that or it's this case where this guy is on the very doorstep, on the brink of AGI. And when he says, like, if you listen to the interviews he's been in recently, he doesn't say AGI. He says super intelligent AGI. It's not even like if you look at the graph, it's like, you know, like rocks, abacus, calculator, computer, AI, and then super AI is like, I mean, it's like it's almost the peak on that thing. The exponential growth from AI to super AI is to super AGI is just you're leapfrogging, right? That's what I'm trying to get at here. You're leapfrogging. It's like going from a steam engine to it's like going from a steam engine to a 500 cubic inch engine, right? So that's basically what we're talking about. I should say from going from like a steam engine on a car to a 500 cubic inch, like 5.7 liter engine on a regular car nowadays. Um, it's like the difference between topping out at 20 miles an hour or 180. So yeah, I don't, and then, and it's like, well, how can it get that? How could it grow that quickly? Well, I mean, I've been talking to people about this all week, but I haven't really shown anyone just yet. Not for any particular reason, really. Oh, by the way, if you guys um, if you guys haven't had a chance to or haven't seen it, for sure, check out Mr. HubSpot Harry. He was just upgraded yesterday. Let me drop the link in the chat. It's just upgraded yesterday, and massive, massive, massive upgrade. I'll go over a little bit of what that looks like. I'm obviously not going to. I won't give you guys a link to the data set. You'll have to make your own, but I will at least show you what the data set looks like and like what the information looks like. I'm not gonna like show you what's in there, let's say, but I mean it's all like everything is like whatever public information I could scrape from any website that had anything related to HubSpot, let's say. And then I just crammed it all into a text file. So I mean that's the short and sweet of it. But let me see if I can find this story here. And while I'm doing that, on some tunes, you find people. There we go. Alrighty. Oh, it's my favorite. This is my favorite time of the show, to be honest, because it's like I love showing people stuff. I love teaching. It's weird. I don't know what it was necessarily that kept me from like becoming a teacher or moving into that space, but I don't know. I still like doing it anyway. So let's see. I hope I'm spelling this right. I'm probably not. I am. Wow. Okay, so this, I mean, it's crazy. This stuff is so crazy. I wish it would show you when this was created. Huh. Like when this entry was created. Okay, so please excuse me if I'm butchering the hell out of this. I probably am. But Jensen Huang, chief CEO at NVIDIA, right? You can basically consider this guy to be like the be all end all of everything GPUs, everything to do with like graphic processing. NVIDIA as much as much disruption as you think that OpenAI has caused to like the I don't know, the global economy or global workforce or all any and all of that, it's nothing compared to Nvidia. It's nothing. You have no idea what this company has been doing behind everybody's back, and at the front of it, all anybody is seeing is like, oh, graphics cards, and it's like, yeah, in the background, this guy is I don't know, like do with it what you will. You have to understand again, like these guys, and when I say these guys, these leaders of these tech giant companies, um, they only care about innovation. Like I said, Altman only cares about GPT-5's capabilities being close to super intelligent AGI. Right. So going back to the story with the board, it's like, yeah, if you didn't tell me that you were working on a super intelligent AGI, and instead you were telling me that you were just working on the next, whatever next iteration of 4, and that it would, just be like better than 4, but you weren't quite sure in what way. And here you are weeks later saying that it's going to be, insanely better to an immeasurable amount. Yes, I'm gonna start shitting bricks too. Right. Look, people who got scared of this stuff walked away from Google. They've walked away from other. This is not anything new. This is not new that somebody that they got scared of getting too close. This isn't new. Okay. If you here's fun, some funny stuff for you. And then specifically, I want to see what they mentioned in terms of Mira taking over, because so like oh man, I hate trying to read news on most sites nowadays. It's hard to find sites where like you can read the story without getting slammed either by advertising or by some like paywall. Um, I know she said want to return to, let's see. All right, maybe not. I know that Mira said that she basically, so like Altman said that he wanted to continue the pursuit of like safe AGI, right? Who was the guy that left? Brockman, that's it. So Greg Brockman, who stepped down with him, right? Now you got to imagine, like, why did Brockman step down? They're friends, right? And Brockman was the head of the board. He was the head of the board. You know when he found out that Altman was going to get fired? 30 minutes before it happened. The board made a decision without you and told you about it 30 minutes before they passed it. And then people are going to sit there and say that it wasn't a coup, that it wasn't planned, that, oh, it was just something that they, it was something that was coming. It was something that had been coming for some time now. No, if it was something that had been coming for some time now, it seems as though whatever Altman was keeping from the board was keeping from Altman. And so it reeks of Apple. This reeks of Steve Jobs. The same thing that happened to him is what's happening to Altman right now. And that's, I cannot wait for the comeback. That's really all I can say is I cannot wait for this guy's comeback. It's going to be amazing. So anyhow, the CTO has taken over. I don't know if they're ever going to get to that part of the story here. Probably not. More than likely not. So anyhow, she's taken over, and of course, they want to continue moving things forward with the technology and everything like that. But the statement that she made is, of course, we want to keep moving forward with the towards our goal of creating safe AGI. So Altman's saying safe AGI, she's saying safe AGI. I think him leaving and saying safe AGI, Brockman said the exact same thing. So like everybody in this camp at OpenAI is talking about AGI. No one is concerned with like, oh, what else can we do with GPT-4? They don't care. They don't care about GPT-4 anymore. It's over. Like 4 got them close enough for them to understand like how easy it was going to be for them to get to 5. That's all it was. It was just a benchmark for them, right? If you think about, and like people have said, oh, well, like these advancements, like they're happening so quickly, and like, not just that they're happening so quickly, but like, why are they iterating so fast and all this other kind of stuff? You guys get a new cell phone every year. Most companies try to shoot for every 2 years, but there's a new model pretty much every year, right? Is it that much different from the last model? We have brand new cars that come out every single year. We have new annual iterations. We are so used to it. It's ridiculous. We have seasonal iterations of stuff, right? Pumpkin spice season. So, to sit there and say like, oh, I can't believe that they're coming up with a new version or whatever, they're working on the newest version. It's like, I don't know. Where have you been this entire time on planet Earth? So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And in terms of, I'm looking forward to 5. That is, I'm not gonna lie. In terms of like, how is it getting there so quickly? So, and like, why am I even talking about Huang's law? Basically, because Moore's law has been broken, and they have been struggling up until recently to come up with a method, which even Huang's law, I'm not sure that it will continue to apply. I think it will change soon, quickly. It's this is the best visual graphic I've seen so far this week. I can't necessarily explain to you the terminology behind this graphic, but these are the H100 boards that they're using now for training training language models. Okay, this is the inference performance over 10 years. Okay, measured by the thousands, right? And like you can just see that, like very easily you could see get out of the way. Okay, from near like half, like whatever, 3/4 or let's say beginning of 2013 to around 2016, probably beginning of 2016, right? So in 3 years, barely anything. Like we doubled it. It's cute, basically, right? And look at the architecture changed completely. And so I mean, the architecture changing completely definitely makes sense in terms of it looking obviously or performing better. But if you notice, again, 13, 14, 15, 2 years, change in physical shape, Moore's law applied, twice as much capability, nearly twice as much capability out of what I'm sure would be about half the size, right? And then sort of like because of the new format, from what at least from what I could take away from the video, like the different iterations at this point are happening essentially because of how they're able to structure and format the boards. Then all of a sudden, like the software starts catching up and essentially helping them to be able to create better iterations, right? And you end up going from, slight, these slight increases, and within a year, all of a sudden you have an insane increase. And what does it look like in a 2-year span at that rate? It should be going up like this, right? Except that again, it's exponential. So it doesn't stay on the same curve line. It even from before, right? Like way back when, it should have just stayed dead, right? And then even at 6.8, it had come right a little off the line, and then 1.25, and then this is like a slight, very slight difference between these three. But then you look at the exponential difference between this curve and this one. That's ridiculous, and the curve between this one and this one is even more so, right? So the next iteration from this, who knows? Like, who knows? The processing power of this stuff is getting insanely like huge, insanely huge. Okay, they're having to like break this down. It really, it didn't look like this a few months ago because now they're in like everything. Their chips are getting used everywhere. The boards are getting implemented everywhere. You can go to NVIDIA's page, and I kid you not, like every week they have new news about what their technology is helping to break down in whatever way possible. For autonomous machines, right? So you talk about like, where is this stuff? Like, I keep telling people, like, this, it just changes everything, right? When it comes to factory design, there's two things that happen here. There's the automated machines, right, that are in the factory. That's one thing. But then you have to understand that NVIDIA is also designing the software that also designs the factory itself. I don't know if it's at all going to get mentioned. No, probably not. Oh, Watson, what up? So NVIDIA is also developing the architectural software that not only is like for buildings, but it's for warehouses specifically and for industrial specifically, to help increase the efficiency of the space. So it's twofold, that they're helping out both on the machines that are doing the creation, the machines that are moving things around within the industrial space, and the development of the industrial space itself. Right. So again, like in terms of who is creating the job loss, like the innovators themselves, right? Like that's almost always the case, is that the innovation is what ends up putting the job out of place. Yeah, for driving automation, I don't, what again, like what else are you going to use for processing than NVIDIA cards? So yeah, if you guys want to see like what the massive impact is from NVIDIA across like different scales, or across different like industries and everything, this is you just come to NVIDIA's site and you'll definitely get an understanding for like what for what they are getting themselves into with every single facet of life that you can think of. Legit, every single facet. It's awesome, don't get me wrong, I think it's very awesome, but again, it's I think it's a lot more than people had thought it would be in the beginning. All right, so I should be spending more time on the news. There has been a lot, but I also feel bad that I haven't that I missed you guys last week, and sorry for sort of like ghosting that and not really not posting about it, but had to go away for the weekend and spend some time with some family, and so that requires me to not be here, and that's just how the cookie crumbles on that, in that particular sense. Okay, so yeah, so I wanted to give you guys back some GPT time and show you some of the new stuff that's come out, a lot of the cool features that have come out, everything that's dropped since the conference, the developers conference. So let me just get this post out here real quick, because you know how that is. I love doing last minute stuff like there's no tomorrow. Okay. Nothing like the last minute, I tell you. Um, so let's dive in. So what happened from the developers conference? Well, I mean, some pretty significant upgrades. First of all, um, 4 is all in one now. So if you use the 4 model, it's Dolly, browsing, and interpreter all in one. They have changed the limitations, so you need to become better at what you do, basically. Um, you're down to 40. You're down to 40 per 3 hours. So depending on how much and like how hardcore, I suppose. I don't know. Depending on how much you have to like how much you have to prompt versus like um, how hardcore you are at being able to work around it, kind of determines whether or not this is really going to affect you that much. Hasn't hasn't affected me, but I don't really, I don't know, per 3 hours. It's funny because you would think that I would do like more than 40 requests in 3 hours, but I really don't. And I, again, like because I use them like tools in a toolbox, I'm not constantly using GPT for stuff. So sometimes I'll just go somewhere else to get a different output in order to actually save myself from using tokens on GPT. Okay, so what else outside of that? You still have 3.5, and then of course you still have plugin mode. I I am very much looking forward to the day that plugins gets folded into 4, but I'm not entirely sure A that that's possible and B that it'll happen. So uh, outside of those things, obviously a bit of a UI change, which is nice. Looks a bit cleaner. Definitely like it. You still have all of your other options. You just now have to click on your profile in order to open those. So you can look at your plan separately. You still have your custom instructions um, that you had before, so it'll still apply to all of your conversations. And outside, so I've learned that custom instructions applies to GPT overall. So like even when it comes to building the bot, it's going to um, it's going to play off of custom instructions, basically. Not play off custom instructions. What am I saying? It's going to um, take your custom instructions into account. So when you're building a bot, if you have something in there that's like be super, over the top, detailed as uber detailed as you can, then when you're building your bot, it's the responses you get from that are also going to be the same way. Right? Excuse me. Ah, delicious. Um, okay, so got our options, and so you can see that I've already got some bots that I've built out here. Still have some of my standard conversations, but I got to tell you, these are all really dwindling um, because it is. I used to have to break out, like, obviously, I used to have a ton of conversations for a lot of different sort of reasons. And now, basically, I kind of have singular conversations with my bots because because they're specialized to what I would usually have the separate conversations for, right? So, in other words, I would usually have to create, 2 or 3 different writing bots because I would need 2 or 3 different styles, right? And it would be a little bit be difficult to train one conversation on multiple styles and still have it be able to retain how to switch back and forth between them. With a bot, this is totally different. It's very easy to train one bot on a multitude of different writing styles and have it be able to retain it because it's quite literally part of its data set. It's part of its memory. So it will always remember how to do those things. So I don't have to build 5, 6 different versions anymore. I just have the one, and it can have up to however many versions I can shove into its data set. Um, so let's explore, shall we? When you come into exploration, you're going to see you have my GPTs, and then you have just regular GPTs. If you don't have access to the created GPT section, if you hover over it, it'll probably tell you like, coming in the next couple weeks. The rollouts happen over time, and I want to say that they happen for like heavier users first, or I want to say they happen for influencers first, then heavy users, or like super users, then heavy users, and then regular users. Just in that sense that like it kind of it makes the most sense to me. Like roll it out to the people who are going to use it the most first, and then you can give it to the other people that like probably are just, you know, they might play with it. Who knows? So anyhow, your standard models are pretty cool. You've got one for practically every use that you might need just on a regular sort of basis. All of these are four based models. So they all have the same ability in terms of being able to upload files, in terms of data analysis and stuff like that. But where you see like the names being sort of specific, right? Um, that's really what the bot specializes in. So in other words, if you go into the creative writing coach and then you start asking the creative writing coach questions about food and like doing ingredients and stuff, it's going to do creative write-ups of what you're asking it for. And it will still go and find references and still go and answer your question, but it's not going to answer it in the same way that the sous chef is. The sous chef is going to answer it in a very specific, like, oh, you're talking to me as if you're talking to a chef, so I'm going to explain it to you in culinary terms. The creative writing coach is going to go find that information and then basically write you a narration of that information. And hopefully that's what you wanted, right? You'll actually have to tell the creative writing coach, like, hey, can you just make that an ingredient list and like not write it as a story or whatever? They're really good at the title. They're really good. So it's, you know, the creative writing coach is actually very good. Laundry Buddy I haven't used. I don't understand what the need is for it. I really don't, unless it's for like young people who just want to learn about how to do laundry, basically. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Coloring Book Hero is really awesome. Especially like if you're trying to design stuff for your kids to do, right? It's really, really cool. Because you can take all their favorite characters and turn them into coloring book ideas, right? So you can take all their favorite toy characters, whatever cartoons they watch, whatever shows they watch, and you can turn them into a coloring book for them to spend their time doing, which they're going to love because it's the stuff that they love watching and doing anyway, right? Go figure, AI making people's lives better. Oh my god. Math Mentor, obviously exactly what it sounds like, you know. So anyhow, let's get into the cool stuff. I'm getting there, almost at 100. Trying to get more uses on this one. Just started building out this web wizard yesterday, and I love coming up with like the names and the little taglines that go along with it. Oh man, I was actually supposed to the icon for this is going to get upgraded soon. Social Writer is pretty good, so let's get into that because it's that's one of the ones that I was talking to you guys about. Okay, so this is sort of what your GPT's interface looks like. And the difference there, obviously, is that instead of going from different models, you go through like different options for the GPT bot. You can see the about that basically shows you what its capability is, what it's powered by, and who made it. And I'm trying to get my site set up so that I can actually have a link to it so that people can go and go somewhere to be able to access all of my GPTs since there's no GPT store yet. Anyhow, privacy settings, I don't think there's anything. Actions. I wish I could just always allow and run action too. I'll get to what that's relevant to. Should have some other, I need to get my LinkedIn account logged in. I have such great plans. So you can hide it from the taskbar, basically on this side. I don't know why you want to do that, but you could. Copy the link to send it to somebody, or obviously if somebody's using your bot, they'll also be able to report you if your bot does something terrible. So let's go into edit settings, maybe. Yep, okay. So this is what your bot panel looks like. Excuse me. This is what your bot panel looks like when you're creating a bot. this will look a little bit different. Actually, let's just do a dummy one. It's no big deal. It's not like it takes up anything. Okay, so this is what it starts out like, and it just says, hey, I'm here to help you create a bot. What kind of bot do you want to create? Now, again, I don't have any, or I shouldn't say again, but it's the first time. I don't have any training data outside of the stuff that I've already downloaded, so I'm really not. I'll make a bot, but I'm not really going to. You know what? We'll go through the process. Screw it. Let's make a training bot for. God, see, I wish this is the only time where I wish more people were watching so that I could get like a use case from the audience per se, and build something for somebody that they can use. I would love to be able to build a bot for somebody that needs to use it for a specific purpose. So let me try to think of one. Project planning. I'm gonna build a project planner. Let's do it. Because I want this bot. So the idea is to get this bot to be amazing at project planning, no matter if it's for marketing projects, no matter if it's for sales, no matter if it's for a nonprofit organization, no matter if it's for small business organization, no matter like if it's for wedding planning, like anything, like project, like plannings and projects of any types. Okay, so it's wanting to say helpful bot for guiding users in project planning. Let's see. Project Planner Pro. Yeah, that sounds good. And let's see, a project planner. Huh. Okay. And the logo should be with an and throw. Oh, so close. And throw. Anthropomorphic. What? Oh, I thought it did go all O's in the beginning. Oh well. Morphic marker. Oh, not a calendar. Should be a checklist. To do. So what I should have said straight from the get-go, my bad, is that building these bots is actually a lot easier than you would think, because you're watching me do this like you're just having a conversation. It's like you're talking to GPT about how to build another GPT. That's the easiest way I can put it. Yes. Oh my god, that's almost so great. I so want to keep this. If it wasn't for what's going on right here, I would keep this logo. This is so great. Oh my god. This is really oh my god, I'm never gonna get over this logo. This is a little weird to me because well, no, it's not weird. So this won't normally happen when probably when you go to build your bot. If you don't say this, the logo should be, or I want the logo. Oh, perfect. Yeah, that'll do. Oh, that's perfect. Awesome. And so it'll basically when you if you don't say that you're doing it for the logo, it'll basically pop up like a square image, and then it'll ask, do you want this to be the logo image, and then it'll take that and do it. But if you're gonna do it, ask it to do it, represent it as the logo, because then you can see what the final is gonna look like. Otherwise, you're getting sort of like a misrepresentation of what you don't it's kind of like taking your square picture and putting it into your round peg of a profile. Why every site does that, I swear to God, I think that is just a sick joke. I swear it's a sick joke from developers to force people to constantly put a square peg into a round hole. Like that, I don't understand why every single website doesn't have a beautifully like rounded corner box for people's profile pictures, which are all coming from fucking square pictures. Like, who's taking round logo pictures, right? I mean, if we're gonna do that, somebody at least put out the round logo selfie filter, right? So that we can do that. Like, anyway, I'm sorry. I know I really do. Sometimes I bitch about some of the dumbest things. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about the bot's behavior. Now, first off, this is kind of like building the custom instructions at this point. This is almost exactly like building custom instructions. So, should the bot be more formal or casual in its communication? And would you like it to ask clarifying questions frequently or when absolutely necessary? I would like bot to speak freely, casually. Yeah. Execution. Okay. 1, 2. You should always be talking to your bots with goals in mind, giving them end goals to try to attain. Because otherwise, you're really like, I don't know, you're just asking it to do tasks that don't like telling it what the goal is sort of like now telling it a story and telling it the story, giving it the end point of where the story is. So like we're going to begin doing something, but in the end, here's what I want. So that it kind of has this understanding that all of the tasks that it's doing in between align to what that goal is. So whenever you say, okay, we need to do this in order to accomplish the goal, it understands like, okay, I got to take this seriously in order to get to this because this is where we're supposed to get in the first place, right? Um, so the bot should ask clarifying questions when it feels that they're necessary in order to accomplish the goal. Maintain a professional attitude towards the execution of the goal. What else? Reference its any searches. Okay. Why is that necessary? Because we're going to build up a data set for this bot. So we want to make sure that the bot always looks at its data set before it tries to go out and pull any other miscellaneous information. That way we can try to keep it from hallucinating as much as possible, because we can say essentially but you should go to this info first. So if it manages to find the info within the data set and it's verbatim telling you what it found without any sort of links to resources, you'll know that it came from the data that you put in it, which is clean data, right? Like they always talk about training bots on clean data, right? So in other words, that the answer that you're getting is an answer from the data which you've uploaded. It's not going to be some like BS that it went and searched for and brought back. However, when it does search and go do, I have not had to put this in the bot at all in any of them. But when it does go search, it's doing the Bing search. So everything that it brings back, it's also going to put a link to it in terms of where it got that information. It'll give you the reference link. So don't worry about, oh, going to be using this bot to do some type of research and all of a sudden don't know if that research is valid or not. By the way, if you didn't know, from Dev Day, Sam Altman announced whether or not this still holds true. I suppose it's up to Mira now, but Altman announced that OpenAI would essentially legally back you in any case where somebody tried to sue you over plagiarism. So, rest easy is all I can say about using GPT at this point. Rest easy that that's all been buried and taken care of, and that all of those people who thought that it's exactly what we talked about in the beginning. Training models is no different than raising kids and educating them. It is the exact same thing. If you are educating your child on material by reading it stuff from a book, it's the same thing as training one of these bots and educating it based on the material you're giving it. There's no difference between the two. Really isn't. So all of those writers, all of those authors, zero ground to stand on. Nothing there. Okay. So, okay, bot should always reference data. Oops. You know what? Let's do this. Yeah. Let's see, because okay. Okay, let me see if this would be so awesome. Okay, let's just start there. I don't want to keep banging on about what this thing's gonna do and not gonna do and all that. Excuse me. So now GPT is basically, taking what I put in there and it's creating the custom instructions for the bot. And we're going to take a look at that in a second under the configuration. But, well, I thought I'd have a little bit of time. I guess not. Okay, Project Planner Pro is shaping up nicely. Cool. It's giving me like just a little feedback of, you see it's changed what these can do, right? So, and you'll see, like I'll get to it in a second. Let's talk about the type of guidance it should offer. Provide detailed step-by-step, generic advice. Not always step-by-step. Well, yeah. Okay. Because that's the end goal, right? The purpose of the project planner is to do twofold: explain to somebody how to um okay. I prefer to use that term, proficient, as opposed to like is an expert level or like master or something like that. It's like, look, if it knows how to do it, it knows how to do it. Not just yet. It's equipped to draft detailed project plans, timelines, and resource strategies in addition to providing step-by-step guidance. Let's see. No, let's see. Um, let's see. Oh man. Parades, marches. What other kind of projects? Let's see. No, I don't want to say that. Say especially. Um, uh, let's see. Sales process. That'll do. All that kind of stuff, etc. Never used. I've never. This is the first time I've used etc. with a listing of things for GPT, so this will kind of be interesting. Okay. All right. So let's go into the configuration and see what that looks like. It lately it purposefully doesn't name the GPT because I think if the name is up there already, I want to say that it starts auto saving the GPT, right? And so that's kind of like I mean, you can delete it straight from here. So I'm not sure why they changed that, but anyhow, basically you can't like save or publish until you name it, which big deal. Okay, so but it's either that you're stuck on naming it or you end up in that Shakespearean end up at that Shakespearean point of like, well, what's in a name anyway? Let's call it. Oh man, I wanted to immediately call it Marker Mark, right? Like Marky Mark. Should just call it Marky Mark, right? If I'm purposefully or whatever applying gender to these things, it's just the name, and it's mainly alliteration. So if it sounds good, that's the name. Or it's one or the other when I come up with names. Either I'm going to name it the technical thing that it is, or I'm going to name it some alliteration that helps me remember what it is, or helps me market it, right? Because if it's an alliteration and you're marketing it to people, they remember it a lot easier, right? So in terms of why am I doing it? Name for the planning bot. Planning plant. Planty the planner. There you go. Personal planner. Yeah. Yep, that'll do. Okay, so these are the custom instructions based off of everything that we had a conversation with GPT about. You can see you have way, way, way more room. So you can add tons of stuff in here. It's not, it's not limited in any particular way. Let's see. I just just want to break these out. Right. Not that it's going to necessarily do anything. I'm not entirely sure. All my other ones have it all smashed together, so I'm just kind of messing around with this one. I'd like to see what it does differently. Okay, so you have conversation starters here that you can customize if you want to, add different ones if you want to. So far as I've noticed, when you add additional ones, they don't seem to show up. Yeah, like I'm not really... See, now that I've named it, it's going to start doing like little auto saves basically. For me. For now. Okay, so before using your bot, you can obviously like test it here to see, you know, what it's like. Like I said, if you create these extra ones, I don't know why, like they just don't show up here. So I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do with them. I guess, you know, you just write a new one, but you can edit the ones that are currently here. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's going to have a stack of them. Anyway, so here's the knowledge base, right? So again, one of its directives is to reference its knowledge base before it goes anywhere else. But let's do the knowledge base first, right? So we're building a planner, and we need it to be excellent at planning. So how do we do that? I didn't think about this. I don't know why. It will, no, it won't, because I can use 3.5's resources. Oh yeah, I don't know if I showed this to you guys before. If you're using 3.5, you could use as many as you want. You can have like 8 3.5 GPTs open and be using all of them at the same time. Anyway, so let's do this. Let's see. That's the other issue, right? Okay. Hey, Granny. Let me see. What? Or I just want to see how much information I'm going to get out of this versus what I would get if I went online for the resource. It's not bad. Okay. This isn't bad because now what I want to do is okay, so I'm going to get it to start doing that. In the meantime, I'm going to take this. Going to go, actually going to open Notepad. And I'm just going to paste it. You know what? Let's not use Notepad just yet so that we can see what we're editing. Let's use WordPad. WordPad so we can see what we're writing. Okay. God, do I hate that. What is, don't I have this here? Should be enabled, right? There it is. Okay. Are you working now and enabled? Yeah, I know. Okay. This plugin is supposed to enable it so that I can copy and paste text from GPT to another resource without it during the formatting. Don't know why it's, and it has worked. It's not like it doesn't or something. Oh, is it that I have to select paste? What's the point of that, man? Ugh, gross. All right. All right, copy paste. What's the yeah? See that then it doesn't matter. Like the formatting does not matter in terms of it having the knowledge of this. It's more that I don't want the asterisks in there. Like I don't. I think it's gonna. I think it would fuck it up somehow. All right. So here's what strategic planning and all that looks like. Okay, so we're gonna add that to the mix. So we got that. Well, what are we down to? 4, 5, 6, 7 to go. So this is not bad because essentially, I mean, this is similar to what I did for HubSpot Harry, because you can, right? This is all public data that exists out there somewhere. Let's see. Did it just go back and start doing? Huh? Oh, it must have asked me if I wanted to go deeper into something. Let's see. No, thank you. Let's continue with the last two expectations. Oh, well, yeah, because they're not in numerical order anyway, so at least not in the doc. Strategies. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see that before, but I have to ask it from the original list. What was it on? 4? Not that I'm not going to use this. That's somehow different from what we were doing before. 4 start out with. Wow, it's like I mean, again, it's not like I'm not going to use this, but because it's like it's giving me information that's sort of related to marketing strategies more so than anything else. That's not phrased properly. Actually, no, it is because it's talking to it's John. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Okay. Cool. Let's see if we can do this. See, and that's where like using 3.5/4, right? That's where it starts to break down. It's like 3.5 quickly forgets what the hell you were doing and starts running off on its own shit. Okay. Div coordination setup. Okay. All right. So let's do this. It's all part of one big file. Don't worry about it. Let's see. Let's do it this way. Oh wow, it still pasted it that way. Okay. You know what? We'll just start with some overhead. Look at time. Yeah, let me just do some overhead because if I go too deep into this, I'm gonna eat up all the time just doing data research. Um, okay, what other types of research are we doing here? I don't know about other people, but I always, uh, here, call this project planning data set. And we'll throw that in there. Take this, mix all that, get rid of it, don't care. Open my notepad file, and we're going to keep all of that in here. We'll call that, let's call it data 1, downloads, save it there. Okay, and then we've got this PDF. Let's download that. I don't care. Man, are you not going to let me log in or what? Thanks. Use a different. Ah, gross. Verify my phone? Sure. Perfection. This is the way you should log in every time, all the time, everywhere. That's all I should have to do. You give me the password, right? I shouldn't have to remember it. You give it to me, friend. Okay, I don't care, man. Just give me the effing guide. No. Sweet. Did we get it? We sure did. Thanks. Bye. Templates. Do we want a template? What does the template look like? What does it look like, sir? It looks glorious. Oh my god. Give me more, please. Thank you for that. Work business straight. Yeah, let's take it. Oh my gosh. Agile. Yeah, what are you kidding? Take them all. I want all the things. I know, you're sitting there saying, like, man, it's going to take forever to put all these files together. You'll see. Oh my gosh. This is so glorious. Look at all the different types of planning you're going to be able to do. Whatever you're seeing me download. Oh my god, is this awesome. Normally you'd have to go here, right? And like go one by one by one by one. And now you're just going to be able to go to one bot to rule them all. Did we get that scope management one already? Yeah, we did. Did we get work business breakdown template? Yeah, and schedule man. Yeah. Make sure I'm ruling them all. Project management. Nope. Okay. Communications. Risk management. Any of these come in as an O1? Yeah, it looks like that. Project management 01. Okay, perfect. All right, so now we've got all of these files on project management, right? And we've even got these two files on project management. So we're gonna just throw all of this into our project management folder, right? And then still, we have all of this crap. And if we put all of this crap together, it's 14 megabytes of data. Now, that's not insane, okay? It's not an insane amount, but I mean, you know, we deal with gigabytes at this point. So again, it's not insane. However, when it comes to reading that much data, that's an insane payload to read, okay? So if it were like 26K, right? This is the data file of all of that stuff that we scraped out of GPT, 26K compared to all of this other stuff. By the time the final file is together, I'll bet you it probably will fall under 100K. Just wait and see what we're gonna do here. So after you're done with that, you're gonna go to this site, which is merge Word, JPEG, PDF, PPT, whatever you can think of into one doc, right? So we're gonna come to project. I'll just put this in the chat. So you're gonna come to this site. You're gonna go ahead and jump in here. We're gonna go to downloads or project management download. Now you can go 10 docs at a time. So we're just gonna pull all of those in as one. Let's see. One more. Okay, and then we're just gonna throw all of this into a text file. So now we've got one half of the data that we want. And so now come back, and I think we got up to processes improvement. So we're going to take the rest of that. One less, less than 10. Oh, that sucks. That sucks because I need that one out of all of them. I need that one to rule them all. Okay, it's fine. I know what to do with it. We'll go to minimizer. Yep, something like that. I love PDF. You guys don't know, like, this is when jobs ask you if you know how to Google stuff. This is kind of what they're talking about. Why? It is a PDF file, sir. All right. I don't know why that way over the other one. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see. Call this PP. Call it one. Already that. Put that in there. Take that 12 meg version out. Did we do this already? No. Okay, so now we've got our PP data 2. And so now we'll put those together. Oops. Shucks mugger. Okay. So we'll take 1 and 2, and we'll put that together with the PDF that we couldn't put together before. We'll put that into a text file. We'll merge that all together. And I'll be an insane man with so much data. That's how I build data sets. So that's your how-to. How do you build a data set? That's how you do it. You go take as much public information as you could possibly get your hands on, rip it all down, and merge it all together into a text file as best you can. If it doesn't seem like it can fit into a text file, I guess put it in a different type. Again, format is not going to matter. It's just a matter of like raw data is the information in there. I think this might be because it's a threesome between 2 text files and a PDF. Takes a little bit longer, and just regular PDFs and regular text files. A little bit of performance anxiety here, guy. Could you please? You're making me look bad in front of the wizards, bro. Come on. Maybe it just got stuck. That sucks if it is the case. Let's try it again. Looks like I am going to end up over 100. I guess it'll be like less than 200K. It'd be fine. Let's see. Maybe it's having an issue. Nope. Oh, at least I didn't kill the garbage bin. Apparently this file is the one that's... Naturally, it's going to be the compressed one that doesn't want to play nice. Okay, close that out. It's my Acrobat is broken for some reason. It's not broken for some reason. It's broken because Creative Cloud did an update and it foobarred my my Photoshop beta and Acrobat. Like, I don't know what is going on behind Creative Cloud. Like, they are updating stuff like every day, and I'm not seeing the updates in the UI, but supposedly stuff is getting updated constantly. All right, this is killing me. Can you please, like, I just need to export. Oh, am I gonna be able to do this? Or are you gonna lock up? Oh, it's about to lock up. Yep, there we go. That's what it does every time. I don't even know what it's trying to pull up right now, but it just locks up. It's probably trying to pull up some BS like, oh, look at the cool stuff in Acrobat 24 or whatever, but instead it just locks up. Oh, yep, it can't read the file. All right. We're gonna do this. Let's see. Press PDF, and we'll go to separate project. Go to the recycling bin, and we'll pull that back out. And we'll come back to, nope. Sprocketeer would be great to come back to. The fact that it worked based on click upload makes me feel better. All right. Down to 12. Oh my God. Yeah, okay, let's try doing that. Yes, just do the selectable text. That's perfect. Because it's the graphics that take it to the 12 megs. It's not the text on the page. Hopefully that file is full selectable text. Yes, okay. A few moments later. 16. How did you blow it up to be 16? What in the hell? I don't care. At least it's a Word file. Wow. Wow, none of these compressed files can be read by anything. Okay, here we go. How big is this thing? Yeah, look at all these full page images in here. What garbage. Nobody cares about your image, guy? It just chopped this to bits, didn't it? Are we done with the images yet? No. It's a bit to go through, but this guide is massive, so it's worth the effort for me. Look at this. It's like a 300-page guide, man. I mean, it's probably realistically 150 pages given the amount of spacing and formatting that's jacked up in here. All right, enough of them are gone. That's all I really care about. Let's try just saving this again, see where it falls. Same thing, man. Let's this is RTF. What do you got? What you got is RTF, man. Jeebus. Fine. Smash the ever-loving shit out of it, please. Thank you. Thank you. Can we just move on with our lives now? Oh, they need to be in the same folder. Okay, so now we can get rid of that and that. Just to make sure, right? Because you do want to check just beforehand. Perfect. That's all I wanted. 241K down from 12 megs. Okay. Get rid of that crap. Get rid of this crap. We just got the regular crap left. All right, so we'll take PP data 1 and 2 and merge that with, whoops, merge that with the 240 here. Whoops, trash that and trash that. It opens offhand. Thank you. Just merge that into one old text file. Took 2 seconds because that's what it takes. And we've got one file. Oh, man. 500K. The disappointment. Okay, so we come back to the reader. We go to the knowledge base. Go to upload the files and go to downloads. And we just do the PP data 1. And that's just one. Now, look, I could have uploaded 6 files here, right? I spent a lot of time doing that because I wanted to get all of that data under one file in the event that, like, down the road you want to get several in here. But just to show you, like, you can put multiple files of different types. If they're documents, it's all documents. So if it's a PDF, that's a doc. If it's a text, it's doc. If it's, obviously if it's a Word doc. So you can only upload 6 documents. You can upload 6 spreadsheets. I don't know if, let me see if images count as document. Yeah, I guess it goes under docs. Maybe, I don't know. I know spreadsheets falls under a different category. I'll show you the back of Harry very quickly so that you can see that. Point being, you can only have so far. You can only have 6 docs at one time, 6 spreadsheets at a time. If you try to go over that, it just won't publish. It'll error out when it tries to publish. Not the end of the world, but you know how it goes. Okay, so now we got this planner jacked up with as much planning data as we possibly can. So let's start. Quite proficient in marketing planning, strategy, sale. Okay, so it's basically spitting out what I told it to be very good at. Okay. Nice. All right. Unfortunately, folks, I'm not in the project planning space, so I'm gonna have to go with something I do know slightly better than that. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Not bad. Let's see. I'd like to shift gears though. Oh, you know what? I'm glad that I didn't have that up there because then you could see that I was uploading that file. Huh. I'll stay off screen for a little bit. Anyhow, or you know what? I'll stay on screen, but can't I change the size of this thing? No. I can't even change its position. Man, that sucks. All right, well, yeah, I'll take it off for a little bit just so you guys can see the whole screen. So let's see, it's awesome, doing a great job. I want to shift gears and go to See, so I like that it's being helpful for you as well. Let me see if it should. Let's see. No, I actually post mostly on, well, anymore. To plan out. Let's see. I don't know how like loud that is, so I'm gonna carry this up a little bit. I'm hoping the music is carrying through enough so that it's not super boring, but I can't quite tell. It's weird because it doesn't even sound like you guys can hear my music actually. I'm like trying to listen to my feed at the same time. No, you guys can't. That's so weird. Even though I have it set up to do that. Oh man, I'm sorry. You guys have been listening to nothing but like dead air forever, I guess. Oh my gosh, that sucks so bad. Shit happens, right? Especially on this show. Um, Gosh, well, I mean, I wish this were, I don't know how this broke so badly. Like, oh, man, that that sucks. I feel bad because here I thought you guys were able to like hear my music this whole time, and I guess not. So I apologize because I'm sure it was super boring at times. um, I'll try to get that fixed. I know it was working last time, so I don't know what the hell's going on. But I'll get it worked out. I'm sorry. Definitely gonna have it on for myself though, because God, it had to have looked funny as hell when I'm just sitting there like bobbing my head and dancing in my own head, and thinking that you guys can hear it too, right? And grooving along with it, and it's like, no, we can't tell what the hell you're doing. All right, anyway, let me get this done, and we're getting close to the 2 hour mark here. Extremely busy every other day, so let's see. Let's see. Okay, this would be interesting. I'd love to see if I can get that put together. Okay, so it does understand the acronym, which it should. I mean, let's see, audience insights, content themes, content planning and creation. Okay, so this is the like I don't want to even say assistant part of it. This is the like giving you tips on how to do stuff part of it, right? It's not quite the execution that I was thinking of. Let's see. Whoops. So let's see. So that's great because like it gives you a list of tools that you could be using. Gives you good times to be able to like gives you assessment times. Now it's not like this isn't like obvious stuff, but again, the purpose of it was like from a standpoint of someone who knows nothing about this stuff, right? Frequency, content variation, engagement. Let's see, I'm not sure how many people like know about this aspect of things, right? Like to stick around after you post just to see what's going on, what happens. Like, do you need to reply to comments and stuff? This is seriously important. Going to other people's posts in the community and leaving your own comments on their posts. I'll admit I don't do that enough. Yeah, definitely. And naturally. Okay. So like when I'm like I love doing this stuff and I love building these bots, but I guess one of the things that drops off for me is like use cases because I'm not in the particular job market, let's say that other people are in where they need help with doing something, right? Let me see if I can do it this way. Let's see. Primary. Oh wait, didn't I kind of do this already? The get-go. Financial SWOT analysis, yeah. Or strategic financial, yeah. Yeah. Content strategy, yeah. Okay. Here you go. Content distribution across digital channels. Smarter, not harder, guys. Okay. So this is actually a pretty decent schedule. I mean, it's nothing. I mean, like it's not just that it's the schedule. It's like start it with a motivational post or industry insight, right? So for me, that would just be like AI breaking news, let's say. Informative posts would for me be something like Huang's Law, would be something like latest app that came out, something like that. No, actually, it would be something more like Wang's Law. It would be like Huang, sorry, would be something more like Altman getting fired. Would be a piece of news, right? This would be more like I don't know innovation. Let's say this would be news for me. Like this is how it breaks down for me, and then this would be like app or like breakthrough. Because to me, like that's when I'm most interested. Like I'm most interested in like innovation when I wake up. Like what news what new shit just came out today? Then by the middle of the day, it's like, oh my god, who said what, right? And then by the end of the day, it's like, oh my god, did you see that thing, right? So So that works for me. And then post something fun and engaging. You know, it's same stuff basically. Wrap up of the week. I should do this. Like I don't do wrap ups enough. Personal insight, lesson plan. Yeah, it's pretty much how today started out. Share engaging video, post a preview, additional tips for flexibility. Cool. All right, let's see if okay, don't have a whole ton of time for this. I'm gonna I'll have a link to this bot and I'll post it in GPT with me, so you guys can check it out as well. Kind of wrapping things down, so I just wanted to show something real quick that I started doing and wanted to like carry through. Oh yeah, I've also built a company research bot that you can use. It's insanely cool. So now I just want to like do some demo. All right. So let me see. Let's see who was there in 22. Bum bum bum. Sorry, I don't pay attention to players all that much. All right, let's do DocuSign. Well, DocuSign probably has like 80,000 pages on their site though, right? Let's see who is Roofer. Is that built in? Oh, okay. Let's see. That's a shit ton of pages too. These have so many pages. What? Oh, can I just go to the site? Are you kidding? There's no immediate link to their website? It's so light. Okay. Actual website. Just as many menus. All right. I can check out my man Roofer. A company like Roofing should not have. Come on now. Not bad. Oof. All right. It's supposed to ignore a lot of this. So here's what's going to happen. I have to do a duplication because this bot is really good. So if your site has like tons of menus, totally fine. You have a ton of like info about you and everything. But it also means the bot is going to take longer because it takes longer to aggregate all the data about your site. And it does do just that. And it does it very, very well. Yeah, if you have a site out there, you are absolutely not safe from my bot. I don't care what you do. Oh, perfect. Okay. Yeah, it's not a whole ton of stuff. Yeah, it's a little too much. This is perfect though, because it's not a ton of stuff and there's a small section for resources. This is too big. We'll do this and we can easily double check whether or not it's being accurate. Okay, so research Rachel. The following URL and gather public known information, publicly known Okay, so we're just gonna let Rachel just run amok on this company and do the research that we need her to do. What she is programmed to do is she's built to programmed as if I actually wrote any code. She is built to do what I was talking about. Like she will go to the website and she's not just going to go to the site. She's actually going to go to every like page in the site. So she's also been given additional knowledge bases on like how to do This stock, I don't even remember how big it is. It's pretty massive. This one as well. So it understands how to analyze firmographic data, and then it also understands how to create company profiles. And then primary task is to gather information from website, guided by predefined types of information to look for. Systematically look for the website, developing beyond the homepage or delving beyond the homepage to additional pages within the main navigation menu. So that's why maximizing the depth of her research. That's why I didn't want to use a site that had tons and tons and tons of pages, because it's going to take forever, right? Okay. After thoroughly examining the site, okay. Dollar per month service location per month. Is this accurate? I'm not even sure where I would find that information exactly. However, that's exactly where I would find it. So, what's awesome about Rachel is that she references her data, right? Specific financial details about skimmers such as revenue, profit margins, or investment information can be found. It's common among privately held companies, which is totally fine, right? Okay, so let's see where to go from that. Wait a minute. Increase traffic to conversion points. Let us see. Nice. Not bad. Naturally, um, you could go into more detail per each example. What I thought, or maybe I think, oh, it's in the web designer, which I'm going to implement into all the other bots, is that they will continually question you and like ask you, essentially like, is this what you were looking for? Are you trying to maximize a particular aspect of it? Do you want to delve any further into anything I've already written? That kind of stuff. It'll basically give you sort of creative ideas slash options for what you can do with the data, what you can do with the response that you got back. Also, I don't know if anybody else has this yet or has played around with it yet. I've got this reply feature now where you can reply to a specific piece of content that GPT gave you. Right? So, in other words, like I was doing the manual thing as before, but now I can just do this and say reply and then say about this about these weeks. Oh wait, what is it? Yeah, just say steps. I'm gonna carry over 2 hours. I don't care. Got a minute 10 on the clock. Okay. This to me is very sick because like you're not having to you're not having to go back and say, can you remember that? Can you blah blah blah. Now it's you're replying specifically to a section, right? So now I could even go into like whatever website audit, right? And then reply to that and be like, go into greater detail about that. Could just keep breaking this down, 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 right? I could just go into specifically performance metrics and let's drill down into that. Okay. So let's get out of Rachel for a second. What was I trying to do? Oh, so anyway, I was just showing you that just to show you like how like pretty comprehensive this bot is. Um, let's see. I don't need to change anything about it. I'm putting a website wizard together. I don't know. I forget if I actually put any data into him. Not yet. Uh, getting there. Getting there. The data sets obviously are what take the longest to gather. Um, so in the case of HubSpot Harry, like not only are the conditions really tight, but the amount of data that's in this guy is nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Um, these files, for what they are massive. Um, and the only reason they're PDFs is because obviously GPT has visual as well. So there's charts and graphs and all sorts of stuff in here that it actually can see and read. Um, so yeah, you can also attach additional actions right through Zapier. So what I wanted to do is show you guys the social writer, which I haven't quite pushed out as much to everybody as I should. Let's actually make it public. I actually can't make HubSpot Harry public for some very obvious reasons, but I'm hoping that one day soon that'll change. Um, my wife actually gave me a really good uh, a really good name change for it. So at some point, it'll definitely have to change names. When it does, at least I've already got that one in the bag. So this is my social media writer. I love this bot so much, and I will show you why. Um, because this is what I was talking to you guys about in terms of, yeah, this is what I was testing. Like, it doesn't really work for, you know, trying to have more than one on there. I never need that option. Here's the description of the story. Yeah, no, don't worry about that. I'd rather you guys have these, and I want to create more of these too. So then it should ask you what the subject matter is. Damn, really? Wow. I will definitely have to rewrite that. Um, okay, let's see. Let's see. Can't do that. I don't know what I'm gonna have to. Jeez, because like the writer isn't meant to work. Samantha's not meant to work in the traditional method. Like this is really about the only two things she would be good at out the gate. She's meant to do your work for you. She's not meant to like ask you questions and help you in that way. It's totally different. Okay, so incorporating Zapier into your bots, right, as like additional actions, it's the coolest thing that I've messed with so far. Talking today that I've messed with so far. Obviously, she has all the same capabilities as the other bots, and then she's got, I mean, the amount of data in these files. This is so I thought there would be a limitation to size, and I realized like I spent all that time merging files and condensing them and making them super small. I went into why I did that because having used this bot, it makes a difference. Like there's a little bit more, let's call it reading time that happens. Anyway, same thing's going to happen with Harry. All of that stuff's going to get boiled down into text files, and at some point, and then I'd like to see if I can do the image files as like separate reference files um, to have Harry understand those separately. And then I'm also going to try some really crazy. Yeah, I'll get into it. It's a technique that I used to use, or that everybody used to use when they were doing 3D modeling, which is that you would create a texture map that had the textures for multiple aspects of a character on one image file. And so what I'm going to try to do, it's almost like working with like a Miro board. And so what I'm going to try to do is do that with the bot, where there will be several images, like not just several, it could be hundreds of images within one image. They'd all be like crazy. The whole thing would have to be a crazy high resolution so each image is distinct, um, to down to the detail. And then to see if GPT can read them as separate images or if it just reads it as one image file. And to see if I can like give it the instruction that like when it comes to the image files you have, look at the individual images, because I'm going to put some text in there so that I don't know if it can OCR read. It should be able to, but to see if it'll pick up like, oh, okay, cat or something, or like cat 01, like so I can almost not necessarily train it on images, but so that I can have reference images to stuff and it'll have like a visual understanding of, let's say, how a PowerPoint presentation should look, because I want to build another one that basically can that can basically build your PowerPoint slides for you, right? Like I want it to be able to design the background slides that go with your presentation. So trust, like I'm gonna be getting into all sorts of mad scientist shit. My main focus is HubSpot Harry, but between him and social writer Sam, um, I don't know. Like I'm really getting into Samantha now because of the actions. I'm not trying to use that with Harry as much. There's not as much of a need there. But with Samantha, it's definitely very, very cool. So what you need to do is you need to get a Zapier account. And then when you do that, you're going to need to come to this URL specifically. I don't, it's somewhat hidden. I'm not really sure why. But as soon as you come to that URL, you'll get, you'll connect your GPT account and all that. And then your GPT account gets connected to Zapier so that you can actually pull it in. And so what you'll do is you'll come to this page next, which is basically just all the documentation on how to use this connection. And you'll start by taking this URL and you'll copy it and paste it right here where it goes. Let me see. Can I close this now that I've opened it? Probably not. No, it doesn't seem like it. Yeah, okay. When you come into actions, when you hit this for the first time, it'll have a URL window that opens where you'll, I don't need that, where you'll put this URL in. Let's see, let me go find, like, here. The planner is going to have it anyway, so you'll go to create new action, and then you go to import URL, paste the URL in, click import, and it pulls in, nope, could not load APIs, open API spec, really? Should not have an issue. Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, because I mean, that's how it looks initially. There we go. Okay. So then it's basically going to pull in like all of the, if you've worked with APIs before, like it just pulls in all the schemas that you have access to. Not schemas, but like basically all the endpoints that you have access to with your Zapier API. And then just shows you that you have get and post to your GPT API. You're going to need a GPT API key to use this, obviously. So it is what it is. You guys should have been this far along by now. That's really all I can say. You could use a authentication method if you want to. Excuse me, which you should. But given that all of my keys are locked up every which way from Sunday, I'm not that worried about it. So let me trash this because I don't want. We'll do the planner in the end, but it's going to be a different use case. Okay, so with social writer Sam, you can ask it what its capabilities are as well. But when you come into your setup, you'll also be able to ask it like, okay, well, what can you get? Like what's available to get from the API? And what it's basically going to show you is this list of actions that it can do from the API. So basically it can write an email, create a Google Doc, you know, everything that's listed here. And obviously if you want to, you can add an action, give it a description. Let's say, send emails from GPT, right? Let's see. Can it only be from Google? Yeah, more than likely. We want. You know, I've already got a rewriting thing in there, so it's tough. I really don't. Oh, anything for that? Create share update. Okay. Connect my account. Yep. 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 Remember that episode of Black Mirror where you just click accept everything and all of a sudden you end up on TV? Let's see. Have AI guess the value for this field? Oh, right. So have AI guess the value for this field is like, so when you write this out, you basically have to tell it create like create share update, or like you don't have to tell it that, but basically there's going to be an action that triggers this that you'll have to write. You'll have to write in like the name of your account, or some, maybe like more than likely, and then you'll have to write in what the comment is, and then write in like visible to. Otherwise, you have to come in here and like pre-specify this. Show all options, content title. No, no, no. You could probably, yeah, you could probably have an image URL. Okay. And then we'll give the action a name, and we'll say post to LinkedIn. I'll just call it posts. Required preview before running LinkedIn action, which basically means that before it actually posts, it'll show you like what the action looks like, right? Want to say it actually? Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It just kind of glitched. Oh, man. Just enable the action first, then I'll go in and say require preview. Okay. So we've got post to LinkedIn in there as well. All right, so here's a test, and this is why I find Samantha so awesome. I'm not sure that this aspect of it is going to work, right? All I know is that the action is available, right? Okay, sorry, I thought that was going to take longer for some reason. As well as the whoops, shoot, and that was on a damn. Okay, let's do this. sort of a test for me to see if it's like in just the preview or whoops, nope, it is live. So what this is doing is showing you what it can do, obviously the idea of it, and then what the parameters are. So you would write instructions, what the instructions are first, who it's visible to, what the comment is, and then if there's a content image URL. If you're going to write the email, you need to write the instruction, the recipient's name, sender's name, email address of the recipient, and then specific prompt for the email content. That's just to write an email. I do have send email. It should be all loaded up. To subject body. So you basically have to. So I really shouldn't need this one. Okay. Let's see. Let's do it that way. Then we'll say. Sorry. Okay. Just because I want to get the data back faster. Oh, hopefully, it, like, I just want to do two things. Oh, I guess I should have said all active ones. So it kind of doesn't matter. Being let go from AI. LinkedIn. Let's see. Um, I wonder. Oh, I wonder if images created on GPT can be like publicly linked. Let me see. Create an image to represent story, and then This will be awesome. I have not tried this yet, but this is my goal. This is the purpose of this bot, is to be able to do this, so that I can like read a story about something, or like go like, you know, watch like a video about some story that's happened recently, um and you know, be able to read about it or learn about it, and then turn around, and instead of having to go scrape it and then, or having to go pull the transcript and do all that and do the summarization and then do, you know, steps 5, 6, and 7 and all that other stuff, I just want a bot that that does this. Man, this is going to be so awesome. Please, please tell me that you're be able, like, and now it's running the action. So it's already gone, read the story, and made the summary. I don't even care to see it. Some of the info will be sent. Yeah, it's fine. That's the part where I wish it could just say always allow. Oh, no. Oh, man. I've never had that before. I'm trying to post a summary on LinkedIn. However, I've prepared the summary based on, man. But look, read this summary too. Right, because the way in which social writers set up, like Samantha's set up, you will never get parallelisms. You will never get BS marketing or sales terms. You will never get stupid stuff like in the, you know, in the troubling times of, or in the fascinating world of, or in the fast-paced world of, or let's dive into this, or let's deep dive, or time to deep dive into, or, you know, you'll never get any of that crap. You'll actually just get good writing. Like, it's really nice. This is, I'm not even joking when I say that Samantha, I almost prefer Samantha to Claude. I'm starting to, because she's writing the way that I want to have stuff written. Not only that, but she's got a 25 meg file just on writing styles and how to mimic writing styles. So anytime I want to, when I, like before, when I would say like, hey, make that a little bit more casual, oh my God, would it go overboard? So overboard, because it was trying to guess at what casual meant. Well, now it has that as a reference. So when I say, hey, make it a little bit more casual, it understands what that definition is, and it also understands how to take just a little bit of that characteristic and apply it to what it's already using. It makes it so much better. This is, I mean, like, this is great. Let's see, can you try posting again? I'm not sure why it would get blocked. Like, there's nothing preventing it from being able to do that. Come on. Oh, that's awesome. So awesome. Are you kidding? But it doesn't have the image. Let's see. Is that the right visibility code when you post? I don't know, guys. Come on. Not that with it. Come on. And if I was gonna post to anyone. Oh, it's just anyone. Oh yeah, let's see what it's gonna look like. Here. Yeah, okay, perfect. You did great, buddy. You did great. I don't know if the image is gonna go along with it. That's the part that's gonna suck, but the image didn't go with it. That's so sick. I'm never going to not be able to keep up with posting now. Like, this is so disgusting to me. I just need to get it to figure out how to post the image along with it. I don't think it's going to be able to do that. See, so it does it. Yeah, it doesn't. That's why. Doesn't. It's locked. Oh, that's the only letdown, eh? It's the only letdown. But other than that, content gets on there. What sucks about the content being on there is that I can't go back and add the image, right? Even though I have the link for it, I don't think it adds anything. Even if you add a URL, I don't think it actually replaces an image on it. So that aspect sucks. That's a limitation from LinkedIn, in my opinion. Um, but I'm sorry. I think that that's amazing. And of course, you can tell it to like format it into multi-paragraph too. So it's not like it's going to be stuck in one type. But that was the goal, pretty much. I just need to get it to. I need to figure out a method for it to. The only thing I need, actually, I'll tell you what's up. I need a. Oh man, let's see. I don't think it's gonna have it. No, I guess not. Let's see. GPT. Write an email conversation. Send message up file. Project now. Image generator is what I need. Okay. That's not really generates a new image. So I would need banner bear. But how does that get attached to all right, that's for next time, guys. That's what I'm trying to put together for next time. It's like, how do we attach this image to this post to be able to post it on LinkedIn? Get that working. I'm 100%. Yes, I'm 100% in two ways. What's awesome about that is A, you will always know when my post comes from Samantha. B, you'll always know when my post comes from me. So I think it's like hyper beneficial. Anyway, I hope you guys have really enjoyed this episode. I think this is probably the most in-depth episode I've been able to give to you guys in a long time, and I hope to keep them on this same track. Not in terms of the length of the did I say most in-depth post? Most in-depth episode that I have given you guys in a long time. And so yeah, I want to keep everything along the same vein without, pushing it out to 2.5 hours. So I will do the best that I can with that. In the meantime, I hope that you guys have a wonderful Sunday. Have a great rest of your weekend. And thanks for coming along to GPT with me.